Good evening, everybody. It's Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead, and I'm gonna try and get this to where it don't do something stupid. Okay, I'm leaving alone. Leaving alone.
All right. Oh, I wonder why these don't move anymore. They used to always do that.
Are y'all hearing us or no? That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about it because I did it updated today. Any sound? Y'all tell us, do we have sound?
Okay.
All right.
Let's see
Any
here.
sound? Sound? Yes, no, before I have to go figure out what's going on.
Yeah, because it's nothing over here is not moving.
Where are they? All show their own, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Okay, there they are.
Okay,
Alright.
we just got more. Okay, they can hear us. All right,
Okay.
thank you. I had to go down because the first ones were just blank. They weren't moving, and that was freaking Danny out a little bit. But when I moved the bars down, I saw the ones that were moving.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
you about wore out, ain't you?
I am about wore out. I sure am. We have busted our tail this week, or I have anyway.
All of us have.
We
Um,
still working at Deep South Homestead, working in the high tunnel, planting a garden, and the garden may be for naught, I don't know, but we can't keep waiting. When it comes to English peas in the Deep South, you cannot keep waiting. You just have to get out there and take the chance, and you just got to do it.
yeah, and we had my granddaughter Faith here with us most of the week, so she helped with the English peas. We got a video coming up Monday on Pecan Grove, and she helped us over at Deep South, and Chris came and helped one day, right?
Yeah, Chris came one day and helped. Yeah.
We managed to get quite a bit done. Danny's about determined to get everything he can moved and just get it done because we keep dragging it out. We've been kind of just we'll get one or two items and say we'll come back and move one day, and we just hadn't. So we're finally
we're totally
making that total decision.
Well, we're totally revamping the house.
Yeah.
You know, and before we do anything with it, and it's just
things are in the way.
Things are just stuff in the house is in the way. You know, we having to constantly get it out. And I told Wanda, I said, I'm sick of this. Just get a dumpster. What we ain't keeping going in a dumpster, and we have some people that we give stuff to. I said, tell them come get it. If they don't want it, it's going in a dumpster. You know, so I'm just tired.
Yeah. So we've been working over there at least maybe 4 days this week.
At least 4 days this week, yeah.
And then we did the English peas one day.
And I've completely redone the high tunnel. I mean,
yeah, we did
irrigation all in it and everything. Plus, I'm pushing, I'm enlarging my food plots, and we're trying to get a back fence on the property. I've been working on clearing the back fence line. So it's been quite a challenging week.
Yeah, we really thought we would have all the fencing done, but 40 acres and then cross fencing, and he needed a lot of the cross fencing before he finished some of the boundary fencing that was not for cows. So
we don't even have half of the boundary fencing.
Yeah.
We have less than half, you know, and it's
because we went one boundary and then come in and did cross fencing. So this part around has still got to be done.
Yeah, we still got, let's see, we got 1, 2, we've still got almost 3/4 of a mile of fence to run on the perimeters.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fencing, and it's expensive.
Yeah. So we're working on it. Yeah, it's 40 acres. We're working on getting that. We thought we'd have it done during the winter, but that probably isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
We might get a little more done, but
if Chris can help me and we can get that back fence up, that's my big time concern is that back fence, because it's a 40-acre strip through a swamp, and out on the top of hills. So we got to go through 1, 2, 3 swamps on the back. You know.
Hold on,
and that is that's a big time. That's a big time. A lot of hand work. It's not like we can do it with a tractor. This has got to be done by hand, and you got to cut the fence rows by hand. You got to clear everything by hand.
Did that put it too dark?
Yes. You leave the lights on. I don't even know what you're doing it for.
I thought it was too much light.
No, you worry too much.
No, it was not too much. It was, that one we
but
needed.
That's our worst fence line to do, and I should have had it done, but with all the work that's piled up on me, I just haven't had time.
Yeah, and so how many of y'all are on your own property? You know, do you have half an acre, 1 acre, 5 acres, 20 acres, 100 acres? Kind of throw it out there approximately how much land you guys have, and I'm not trying to be collecting information.
No, we're not collecting information. I mean, because we don't
like to know.
Well, we don't know who you all are. I mean, we don't know you personally. We don't know if you live in a subdivision, if you live in an apartment, if you live on an acre, if you live on 5 acres. I mean, it helps us when we get ready to make videos if we know what kind of audience we have as to as to where.
And see, several of them have larger acres. Some of them have small. That's kind of what we were wondering, because we can tell you all day long we had 10 acres, we're on 40 acres now, but we don't. Listening to y'all's comments and stuff, I kind of get that some of you are in subdivisions, and some are.
Okay, let's put it this way. Out of all the land that you all guys are saying that you have, or where you live at, how much of it do you actually garden on?
Yeah.
Because like we've got 40 acres here. Or, well, we got more than 40. We just say 40. It's actually more. But we only garden on 1 acre up there.
Yeah, approximately.
Approximately 1 acre, and then we've got the high tunnel.
Yeah.
And then we've got the raised bed. We've got the container gardens. But as far as the amount, of land that we actually use is actually just 1 acre that we have for a garden.
Yeah, a lot of them are saying 1 acre, half an acre, 1,000 feet, 125, half an acre, 20 by 20, quarter of an acre, half an acre. So that's the norm.
That's okay. I mean, so that's good. That's really good.
That's the norm for most people. And I know if y'all live in, okay. So tell me when you want me to roll it. This one?
Yeah.
All right, Nan Farm. What am I doing? Which?
It doesn't.
This one?
Yeah, try the bay. Oh, well, yeah. I guess that would be okay. Yeah.
Okay. Nan Farm. This is. Do I have it on? Oh, wrong.
Wrong part.
Let me get it in English.
Yeah, let's go.
This is a heat mat. So Nan Farm, if you would send me your address at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. So these little heat mats will help get.
Yeah, if you've got some little small trays and stuff that you want to start indoors.
Yeah. This
is perfect for starting out little trays with.
I think it holds a. Let's see, what did it say? I keep getting the wrong one in the wrong language. Somewhere it told how big. It said a 10 by 20. Okay.
Yeah.
So a 10 by 20.
It's a 10 by 20 mat, which is about the size of a regular tray. If you're trying to start some young seedlings early, like your cabbages, your cauliflowers, and stuff like that, if you're trying to get them started off, then something like this little heat mat really works out good to warm the soil up to get your plants or seeds, get them germinating real quick.
Yeah, and we have something else we're going to give away toward the end. We'll ask a couple of more questions, but should I show them what it is so they'll stay around till the end?
Yeah, show them what it is. And first of all, how many of you have this? I
Yes.
guess that's what we should say. How many of y'all actually have this book? This is a new edition now.
Yeah. Ours is a yellow. This is the 4th edition. It's updated and revised. It's the Back to Basics, a complete guide to traditional skills. This thing is phenomenal. I've had a copy since my dad had it when I was young, and I got it from him, and my kids love this book. One of them in particular would sit and read this book all the time. So we will give that away to somebody toward the end. And if you pick a name, you're going to have to write it down.
Oh, let's see here. I'm sitting here trying to.
You want me to?
Oh, I'm just trying to. You know, I mean, it's one of those things.
All right. I see a lot of people say they have it. Stop right there.
Let's see.
All right, keep going. It is a nice book.
It's a nice book.
It's got things from even making bread and it tells you how to do a starter if you don't have a starter. I used to use it for the bread starter. I'd get in a bread mood back when my kids were little, and I'd use this book, and probably one of my favorite recipes in here was the Sally Lunn bread. It was kind of like a French loaf. It was amazing. So it tells you how to start to begin a starter without anything other than potatoes, and then how much of it to use, how to feed it, and all that stuff, and then it gives you bread recipes.
Yeah.
And it talks about animals, even down to shearing sheep. It talks about how to build a garden and put fencing up around a small garden. It talks all about fruits, grafting, how to graft trees, plant seeds. It talks about canning, building structures, even down to wine making and how to butcher rabbits, different animals. It shows the cuts of meat, like for a cow or a pig. I mean, this is like one of the best field books of all time.
Ours is the old yellow one.
Yeah. But this one has a little bit smaller print, I did notice, or it seems smaller to me than the other one.
Well, it may have more in it.
So y'all stick around and we'll announce a winner.
Somewhere in the video tonight, we'll announce a winner.
Yeah, a lot of people say they have it and they love it.
Yeah, it's one of those books on a good old cold rainy day by the fire. You can just sit there and read it, and then you can dream about things that you wish you'd have done when you was younger. You know.
Yeah. Well, I managed yesterday and today to relax just a little bit for a few minutes. Our coffee people that we talk about, Silver Run Coffee Crafters, on Monday night, we were trying to get a lot of people to jump in on their live stream on Facebook, and several people won coffee, and several of our subscribers in the last 2 weeks has won coffee. And this time I won an espresso and their funky espresso coffee, and I'm like, okay, I'm not sure about that one. But Faith was here and we made actually Rebecca dropped it by.
Yeah.
And Faith and I sat and made the espresso, and we are both hooked. I'm telling you, I love it. I love the espresso machine. It's just a little one for the stove top. Makes enough for...
Makes what, 2 cups?
For 2 people. 2 coffee cups.
2 coffee cupfuls, and not these little
12
dinky,
little
not these
espresso
not these
cups.
little bitty things.
Yeah, if you did the little tiny espresso, it's like 10 or 12 of the little espressos. But we drank a coffee cup each. And we weren't wired.
No.
And I've had a cup today, but I've been going out yesterday and today. A friend of ours, the guy Danny gets hay from, Tanner's a young guy, in his 20s?
I'd say he's in his
maybe less than 25.
he's mid-20s,
Yeah.
at least mid-20s.
And he's been married 3 or 4 or 5 years, I don't know. And him and his wife, we got to know them through getting the hay. Danny already knew Tanner since he was a baby. And she posted that she was making king cakes. So I messaged Macy, and yesterday I went and got a king cake that she made, and it was phenomenal. So I had a piece of king cake and some of the espresso coffee, and I went out on my porch and sat and just chilled. And Danny come out and chilled with me for a while.
I sat there
yesterday.
about 15 minutes, I reckon. Yeah.
I told him, I said, we fixed to start enjoying life. And then we jumped up and take off and work again.
Yeah, well, I ain't took off no time today. I was
no, you didn't join me today. You were in the high tunnel.
I was working
I think you were.
No, I didn't go to high tunnel today.
You went to your shop.
I was in my shop trying to organize the chaos in the shop.
Oh,
And I got tired of doing that, and I went and got on the tractor.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, he said my shop, he had one side reasonably organized, and then since we've been moving things, the other side looks like chaos. And then he decided we're going to clean the shop. So for 3 days now, we've been bringing things in, and it's just sitting everywhere.
It looks horrible now.
It's driving him
It's driving me
crazy.
up the wall.
So it was something, I'm gonna tell you. So we've got a lot of chaos going on, and we're trying to make some, I guess, we're trying to organize just a touch.
Well,
but it ain't easy when you keep bringing things in
Yeah, I
before you
mean,
get everything put up.
That's like today. We was talking to a gentleman today, and I told him, I said, look, I said, you got a friend that likes to go through stuff. I said, get in your truck and come over here to my other property. I said, we fixed to fill your truck full of stuff. And went over there and I loaded his whole bed level full of things. I said, here, take this to your buddy, and y'all go through it, and whatever you want, keep it. If you don't want it, throw it away. I don't care, you know. And he's like, man, that's a lot of good stuff. I said, look, I'm tired of it. Just take it.
It's like we don't use it. It's just here, and we hope somebody can.
Yeah.
So what is a king cake? In Louisiana, if you'll look it up during Mardi Gras season. Now, we're not Mardi Gras
We don't do
fans,
Mardi Gras, guys.
but I love the king cake. I've been getting one in February since, I don't know, since before my kids were little, I guess. And usually every year I would get a Paul's Pastry king cake, and they do ship. But the last 2 or 3 that I've had, the size went from like, about this big around,
Yeah.
down to about this size for about $12-15, I don't know, for a little bitty small king cake. And they were pretty dry, and the icing was not that good. They weren't as well made as they used to be. They still were good,
Yeah.
but not as well made, and they had shrunk. You could get a bigger one, but you know.
They just weren't as fresh tasting as they.
Yeah, because they
Now,
have.
I don't eat them personally, but
Yeah,
Wanda,
he doesn't.
I don't eat anything like that.
And so during Mardi Gras season, they make what they call a king cake, and it's kind of like a bread dough in a way, and
It's like taking bread and
you would
you
make-
braid it,
yeah.
and you make a big circle about 16 inches long, and you put it in the oven. You bake it you put cream cheese in it. You can.
Yeah.
You cover it with all kind of different psychedelic colored sugars and stuff like that on it.
Now Macy didn't put all the sugars on it, and I
mean-
was very thankful. I love she put some color in her icing to make it colorful, but not outlandishly colorful. And she didn't put all that psychedelic sugar on top.
Right.
And you can use cream cheese, and blueberry, cinnamon and brown sugar. Some people do pecan pralines. You can the icing or the interior of the cake can be any kind of flavor that you want. But she's from Louisiana, so she's making and selling these, and they were delicious. So you
Okay.
can kind of look it up online.
3B Homestead has got a question. How do you organize your empty jars after eating out of them before canning next time? Well, when we buy jars, we don't throw the boxes away, first of all. We keep the boxes, and as we eat out of them and Ms. Wanda washes them and cleans them, we put them back into the box upside down so that the tops are not just sitting open where dust can get down in them. We turn them upside down. Lots of times we'll even put a paper towel in the bottom of the box and set them on it. And we take them, we've got a big storage room, and we just take and stack them up in there. And like anytime we're canning meat or anything like that, that's not an in-season kind of thing, because we can year-round. We don't just can in the summertime. We can fall, winter. We've been canning lard. We can stew meat. We can, all kinds of meats and stuff like that. And she just goes back to the storage room and gets the jars out, brings them back in here, and we fill them back up, put them back on the shelves again.
Yep, rotating.
Just rotating them.
Yeah, if you keep the boxes and keep them stacked up, then you have some place to put them.
If you're emptying them faster than you're filling them, you're not going to be sustainable. You need to be emptying about as much as you're canning and rotating constantly. Now, I'm not saying you have to eat and can the same exact things, but if you take 5 jars out this week, you need to put 5 jars back in this week of something.
Yeah, mine is I empty a lot of jars, and then one week I'll can quite a bit. I don't actually empty and can the same week as we do it, but usually when mine is in bulk, so I do a lot, like the lard we did.
Like the lard, we done a lot of jars of lard.
Yeah, and we got a lot, and then I've been doing beef for a while now. I'll do some
beef
broth
off
and on.
And then the stew meats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Every so often we'll say, okay, stuff's been in the freezer long enough, let's take it out, let's just can it.
Yeah, the thing about the king cake, I forgot, some of them put babies, the little teeny baby in there, and ever who gets the slice with the baby supposed to buy the next king cake. I did not ask Macy, but I don't think she put a baby in there because it didn't say anything and she didn't mention it. So I'm assuming she didn't, and I hadn't found one. I cut mine up and put some of it over in the freezer so I wouldn't eat it all. It is that good. But y'all have to look it up online and just see what a king cake is.
Yo Mama 555 says, where do y'all get potatoes? We usually save our own and put them back in the ground, but occasionally we've already done it, and I don't know if they've frozen yet. I haven't dug to see. But we do have a local feed store here in Wiggins that will get seed potatoes in, and we'll go up and buy 5 or 10 pounds of them and cut them up and chit them, and then when they cure real good, then we'll plant a few new ones along with our older ones, just to keep a little bit of new stock coming on all the time.
Kathleen, we just did a video on canning lard on Pecan Grove, so go over and check that one out this week. Now, we hadn't done any beef tallow. Most of the time when we have a cow done, we use the beef, the fat.
Yeah, tallow.
We use it in our ground beef and stuff, so we really don't save out any of that, or we hadn't. We made this time. Next time we do one. Do you ever just freeze some of your veggies? Yes.
Yes, we do. Now, we don't freeze things like green beans and stuff like that, because when you do, they end up having a kind of a spongy, rubbery taste to them. So we usually just can the green beans. Now, we will put some in the freezer if we don't have enough to can, and then when we do get enough to can, we'll take them out, thaw them out, and put them in some warm water, and then we'll can them.
Yeah, you don't notice it if you can them that way, but if you just take them out of the freezer and start cooking them, to me the taste is so different. But now I usually do most of my sweet corn in the freezer. I don't like sweet corn in a jar. I don't like field corn in a jar. So if we have any field corn that we do in the milk stage, we always put it in the freezer. My corn is one thing I want in the freezer.
Vicky says, how did the ornery old rooster turn out? Well,
he's still
Vicky,
there.
I throwed him on the outside of the pen right now, and he's rambling around the outside out in the farm out there in the farmyard and stuff like that, around the barn and stuff like that. And I said, if you live and something don't get you, then enjoy your life for a little while.
And he's still going.
He's still going.
Can you use grocery store sweet potatoes for slips? The organic ones.
Yes, you can use organic ones for slips. That's not a problem.
Okay, have you ever...
Okay, Debbie S. says, Danny and Wanda, will y'all be making a root cellar at Pecan Grove in the future? No, I'm not going to do a root cellar over here. Now, I do have a, how would I say this? A potato storage area underneath the cabin.
No,
camp house.
Our words is going crazy.
Yeah, underneath the camp house that's all blocked in and everything. I'm working on that right now to have a place to store the potatoes in. That is a work in progress. But I am not building another underground facility. Not at this time anyway. Unless the Lord moves me to do it, I'm not doing it right now.
Yeah, so we have a safe room in the camp.
Yes, we have a safe room. We
went ahead and did the safe room because as we age, we don't want to be going up and down stairs and stuff like that, especially in bad weather, or if you're in a hurry and you just heard that there was going to be a tornado.
If you wake up during the middle of the night and there's tornado warnings and stuff like that, we don't want to have to be trying to get out in weather as we get older, trying to get into something, so we just got a safe room in the camp here.
Okay, somebody asked one. Well, it don't want to roll.
It didn't roll with me a while ago. That's why I got ticked off about it. And the thing is too far over that way. We can't see the.
Okay, let me move it. Maybe that's where
it
is. When I fry fries in grease, they go through. I'm not sure what she's talking about. 2 times. Yeah, most people like their frozen corn and their canned green beans.
Yeah.
That's just 2 things. Now, anytime I do peas, like field peas, now I like my field peas in the freezer, but I also like them canned. So until I have enough...
I'm going to answer that one right there.
Okay. Until I have enough field peas, if I only have a small portion, I'll put them in the freezer, and I don't do anything but just put them in a plastic bag. I don't put water in them or anything.
No.
And then when I have enough, I take them out so I have room in my freezer. I'll can them. So I like them both ways.
Okay, Susan Hall says, how do you keep your beans from being so stringy even after stringing them? If you have beans that are too stringy, even after stringing them, you're letting them mature too long on the plant. If a bean on a plant goes to the point where it has beans in it, you've left it on the vine too long. That you need to pick your green beans and all that kind of stuff before they actually have beans developing in them.
Yeah, I don't like them after they develop.
Yeah, once they start getting beans developing in them, the skin on the outside of them starts getting tough. We don't do that.
And 2, I don't plant string beans.
No.
I plant anything that does not have strings. Our
Right.
yellow wax beans don't need to be stringed. Our contenders don't need to be stringed. And what, have we planted any other kind?
No.
That's the main 2, and they don't have strings. So
Right.
And the rattlesnake beans, we always pick them real tender.
Real tender.
Because I didn't want to string them.
Okay, Mary Floyd says, when do you plant new red potatoes? It all depends on where you live at. Now, we're in South Mississippi Zone 8. Now, Zone 8 doesn't work all the way around the United States, okay? Because everybody's zone, even though you're in Zone 8, your weather is 100% different. Here in the Deep South, in South Mississippi, we plant usually in the fall and let them just stay in the ground all winter, and when they come up and make plants, we just take a hoe and chop them off if it's going to freeze, and they usually come right back. And then when it gets to be about the last week in February, we'll go ahead and put them in the ground. If we're going to put new potatoes in the ground, we put them in the ground about the last week of February. And we're going to have to do that this year because on February the 15th and 16th, the United States is fixing to face another Arctic blast, and it's going to come all the way down here to where we're at. We're going to be lots of ice, lots of snow and everything. Don't know if we'll get the ice or snow, but I know the cold air is coming down here. Okay,
so I've got something I want to say about that. Carolyn said, did you notice that Market Weatherman Plus put Wiggins on his maps during the southern blizzard this week? Thought that was so neat. Did you notice that he had Wiggins on?
I hadn't seen the one he did since then.
Okay, so Danny's been busy, but he'll check it out.
I'll check it out.
Leanna, I think that's what it says, what size is your high tunnel, please?
Our high tunnel is 24 feet wide and 60 feet long.
All right. I'm losing. Somebody asked what type of field peas. I think I will be planting pink-eyed purple hulls this time because it's been 2 years or more since I planted very many, and I'm not planting a lot, but I want to have some to can this year. I'm not planting cream peas in a while either, but I don't prefer the cream peas as well as the pink eyes.
Oh, let's see here. Somebody must have been talking about okra because I see Kitty says, I love okra.
Yeah. We're doing, which okra you doing?
I don't know where, is that okra still in my truck?
Probably.
I don't even remember seeing it today.
The Star of David, yeah.
I don't remember where it went.
I don't know.
Did we put that at the other place?
I don't know.
When we unloaded the truck?
I don't know. I thought you kept it in there so that you said, I'm going to put it in my shop.
I don't remember seeing it. Now that we talk about okra, I don't know if it's in the back seat of my truck. I don't know where it's at. You unloaded my truck. Did you see it in there?
I think it's in there, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I didn't get it out because it didn't belong in the house.
Well, it's got to come here because I got to shell it out.
He's bringing it in the house, y'all. I should have brought it in. But that's a Star of David. I would like to plant some Star of David.
Yeah, we're going to probably, I like the white okra though. I mean, the white okra is our favorite now.
We need two different places to plant.
Yeah.
So, in the field with the other stuff, we might plant some of the white okra. And the Star of David down here somewhere.
Yeah, before it don't cross-pollinate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we like okra. All right, let me get to where I'm seeing what people are saying. Oh, it jumped. All right. Do you can the yellow wax beans? Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. We can them. We actually grill them.
They're awesome.
They're awesome grilled. Throw a little olive oil and a little salt on them. Throw them on the barbecue grill. I tell you what, it gets really, really good. We've
never grown avocados. No.
No, they don't do good here because it just gets too cold for them.
Michigan Lifestyle said, try the maple sugar candy in your coffee. That is one of my goals because I've got that put up in one room and my coffee's in the kitchen, and I'm thinking, okay, I need to put at least one box in there, so I would try it because I saw that people were using it in coffee and they were bragging on it.
ABCXYZ said, we planted yellow wax beans this year and ended up with 3 different kinds of beans. That is the whole problem with these seed companies now. They're getting people to raise these things for themselves, and people think that they can just go out there and plant several different varieties of beans and then save them for seeds. You cannot do that. If the genus names are the same, you cannot do that. That's when we plant beans, we only plant one variety.
And we have heard so many people over the years that will say we are going to be planting for seeds for this company or that company. And when you look at their garden, they have, like if they have okra and they're planting it, they have 2 different types there. And I'm going, how do you do that?
You can't save seeds. If you've got 2 different kinds of okra in the garden, you can't save seed from them.
I've seen too many people, or tomatoes. I'm going to be saving these tomatoes, and they've got 10 varieties. And that's how those seed companies, because we got yellow wax beans, the pole beans. Danny wanted pole beans, and he wanted the yellow wax. We had so many different varieties of beans that year, it wasn't even funny.
It wasn't even funny.
I mean, some of them were flat, some of them were round, some of them were long, some of them were yellow, some of them were yellow and green. Some of them were green.
That's the awfulest mess I ever seen
in my life. Some of them
had
streaks on them. I mean, you could tell the seeds had been raised somewhere where there was such a variety of beans. It wasn't funny.
Cross-pollinated on them. We've actually gotten squash seeds that the white patty pans, and them things ended up growing up making something look like a gourd or something. I don't even know what it was.
That was the awfulest looking thing we'd ever seen, and it was supposed to have been white patty pans.
Yeah.
So, where can I buy yellow wax beans? Make sure it's the Cherokee yellow wax beans. Now, I know all wax beans may be fine, but you can find them on almost any seed company.
Now, this new seed company we've been trying.
Do you still have that paper?
That's sitting right yonder.
Where?
It's either on the bar or it's on the countertop right there around the corner. I laid it right there somewhere. It's St. Clair. St. Clair Seed Company, green peas.
Yeah, when I was looking for, well, it keeps messing up. All right, the Lincolns, they're green peas, English peas.
English peas.
And this St. Clair heirloom seeds was one of them that I found, and it was a reasonable price because Danny wanted a pound of them. Most places sell the little packets
Right.
for about $5 a packet, and I needed a pound. So we would have some this year and next year. And so this place did carry that, and they do have gift certificates. So the video Monday, we're going to be picking somebody from the comments for St. Clair. Let me put it, can they read that?
Yeah.
St. Clair heirloom seeds. So we'll be giving away a gift certificate Monday on that.
You have to turn it where the chat will go.
I thought there was something there I wanted to. Hey Jennifer.
Yeah, hey Jen.
Okay, it's gonna jump now. Where do you get your cocazelle seeds? How do we get those?
The cocazelle seeds actually come from a subscriber who sent us a bunch of seeds in some packets, and I tried them to see how they would do, and we loved them, and I actually planted a whole row of nothing but cocazelle squash and harvested the seeds from them so that I would have cocazelle squash seeds for a long time.
I don't know if we're gonna have. I'm trying to possibly have some Danny corn seed next month, but it's if Danny gets it out and I can get it. With everything we're doing, it's hard for me to package stuff.
I just shelled the last of the Danny corn off of the ears of corn and got a big old giant.
So we might do some.
We might can do a few.
It might be 15 packs or something. So when it goes up, it goes up. That'll be it. Do you like the quality of survival seeds? Yes.
Yes, we have had very good luck with survival seeds.
That is one company so far
Yeah.
we've not had any issues with. Everything we've planted with them has been really, really good. Let's see. Let me see what else I saw somewhere. Do you plant monkey beans? I've never heard of that. Have you?
No, we don't plant monkey beans. No.
Are you only growing determinate tomatoes this season?
In the high tunnel, I'm personally on the tomatoes for us to use to like can or make anything out of will only be determinate. Now Wanda goes off on these binges and wants to plant some kind of weird tomatoes, and she'll probably end up with an indeterminate stuck somewhere on the property.
Well, I've got the what you call them, the Vago self-watering tomato cages. I have 4 of those, or pots, and 2 of them so far I put blueberry seeds, the Blue Bounty, and these are not the, what was it called?
Not the blueberry ones.
No, but I mean the Blue Bounty. They're about this
They're in
big.
the Indigo series.
Yeah, but they're not. What is this that everybody was throwing a fit about?
Oh, they're not the purple tomatoes that people were saying were genetically modified. They're not that.
We've had these seeds for close to 8 years. We ordered the Indigo series. It's a non-GMO heirloom seed.
Yeah.
We ordered them a long, long time ago, and we planted them 2 or 3 years. And Danny saved the seeds out of all of them. About 4 or 5 different kinds.
Yeah.
And so I'm planting the Blue Bounty, which will be about a good sized tomato. So yeah, Wanda does on her own sometimes.
Hold on. Old Farm Gal says, I ground Danny corn this past week and made cornbread for the first time. Very good. All right, I like to see people who actually get to do that.
All right, Amy B is asking, how close is the cocazelle to the trombocina? I don't know how
the cocazelle is a zucchini squash from Italy. It gets just like a regular zucchini, but it's got the grayish green colored stripes on it. It looks like a watermelon, but it's very long and straight. And I'll be honest with you, I actually like the cocazelle better than I like any of the other zucchinis that I've tried.
Okay, Will Be Cool says that Southern Exposure Seed Exchange does sell the cocazelles. So Southern Exposure Seeds.
Now we've bought from Southern Exposure before and actually had pretty good luck.
Had good luck with them. Darlene wants to know, are there any huckleberries on Pecan Grove?
Yes, we have lots of huckleberry trees on Pecan Grove.
All right, now Karen wants to know how to get rid of aphids in the garden.
That's a $64,000 question, Karen.
Make you rich if you had the answer.
If you could answer that one, you would be rich, because usually aphids are a sign that there's too much nitrogen in the soil. But also aphids they attack weak plants. And then when it gets to be certain times of year, they just show up, you know, and you just gotta go after them.
Danny only keeps a few types of seeds in the freezer.
The only thing I keep in the freezer is pea seeds, like field peas, cow peas, whatever you call them, pink-eyed purple hull, whatever, that kind of peas, corn, peanuts. Those are usually my 3 seeds to keep in the freezer, because any pea seed on the market has worms in it. All corn seeds have weevils in it, and the peanuts,
unless they put that chemical.
Unless they chemically treat them, and then the peanuts, I just like to leave them in the freezer because it keeps them dormant, and they actually last longer in the freezer than they do out of the freezer.
All right, T-Bear wants to know, would you consider doing a spring garden layout for half to an acre?
T-Bear, all I can do is to show you what we do on our garden and how we lay our garden out. Now, we lay ours out based on the way the water runs down the property, the way the sun hits it. I mean, we got a lot of reasons why we do what we do on our garden, and possibly I'll try to explain some of that this year as we do it.
It says Jackson Wiggins sells southern exposure seeds, so that would probably be plant and patio.
That's Jack's plant and patio, yeah.
Okay, let's see. With the strange weather, do you think it's going to be challenging trying to get a garden going?
Jeannie, oh yeah, this year will be the year of years to get gardening done.
It already started. Just when we needed to plant English peas, it snowed.
Yeah.
And that's not normal.
That's not normal. And then we've got another Arctic blast coming again, which is not normal. We got our onions in way too late because Hoss Tool drugged their feet about getting them to us. And over half of them have already died. So we're fighting a losing battle right up front, trying to do everything we can do just to get something up and get it going now.
Somebody asked about the espresso thing.
Let's see here. Let me see where we at here. Let me put my glasses on. I'm sitting here squinching my eyes.
All right, so somebody asked about espressos. This is the one I have right here. This goes on the stove, and I'm going to try and do a video and show how it works.
Not to be confused with a French press.
Right, Chris? This one goes on the stove like a perk pot.
Yes.
So this is a really quick way to make espresso, and I love it. I mean, I've really enjoyed this the last few days. All right, now where were you at with reading?
I'm just go.
Okay. Something happened.
Okay, Nan Farm said, what did you plant this week? We planted this week our Lincoln English peas. That's what we got in the ground this week. And hoping that the freeze coming February the 15th and 16th don't kill the little plants, because they'll probably be up by then.
Yeah, I planted some of the blueberry tomatoes. I planted in 2 pots. And then I planted some radishes around them, so we're going to see how that does.
Let's talk to Sandy there. Sandy says, Sandy T59 says, does your canned hamburger taste as good as fresh hamburger? Actually, that's a really good question, because it does take on a really different taste.
The taste to me is more like when you get tacos at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Old time tacos. Now I don't know what they do now.
I don't know what the new ones are, but the old time.
I haven't eaten Taco Bell in 12, 15 years. But back in the day, when I'd go to Taco Bell, the way that meat tasted is how, with minus the seasoning now, it's got that texture, really fine texture to it. We like it in our casseroles and stuff like that, and you make chili and anything that you make use ground beef. But now, would I make a burger out of it? No, because it's already cooked and it's already all to pieces.
Yeah, you can't make a hamburger out of it.
But it's good in anything else, but it does not taste like fresh.
It don't taste like fresh. To me, it has a good taste.
All right, now, are you ready for...
Yeah, let's just do this.
All right, where are we at? Will row covers help the young seeds? We have row covers over my carrots. My carrots are up, oh gosh, 10 inches, 12 inches or so. They made it through the freeze. They look awesome, so the carrots are going to be okay. What is the name of the pressure canner that I use? Okay.
It's a Presto. Oh, you got the new electric one.
The one I have for the stove is a Presto, and the electric one is a Presto. So both of them are Presto. Meatloaf. Somebody says they make meatloaf in jars.
I've seen canned meatloaf before, yes. And it's usually pretty good, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it's pretty good.
House Tools is still a good place to get garden things.
Yeah, we still get our fertilizers and stuff like that from House Tools, you know, like the 20-20-20.
I ordered some of that this
year. Things like that. Yeah, I mean, Travis and them's, you know, they got, you still got good stuff. I'm not trying to say they don't. It's just that when it comes to onions this year, they dropped the ball on us here in the Deep South, and we didn't get them in time.
Yeah. Have you worked on your walk-in cooler?
Actually, I was looking at that today, and we talked about it today. No, I have not, because I have everything to finish it with. I just don't have time right now. And I need to make time because we got another hog we need to be hanging in there. And I'm just going to have to break down one of these days and just get out there and just make myself do it.
The seeds that we get from House Tools we've gotten throughout the years, we've not had a problem with any of the seeds.
No, the seeds have all been pretty good.
Actually, the spaghetti squash, the small wonder spaghetti, the little ones, just prolific.
Yeah, 5 plants produce 50
small
spaghetti squashes.
Spaghetti squash.
Yeah.
And then the yellow straight neck, I had to make Danny pull them up one year because they just kept making. They wouldn't stop. The plants were as big as, what, 10, 12 feet?
They were 10 or 12 feet of plant just sticking out there. And
that was
called the Gold Prize. Yeah. That was the best straight neck squash we have ever grown.
This past year we tried the Gold Prize, plus we tried Survival Garden seeds. We tried everybody, even Walmart seeds. Yeah. No squash came up for us at all.
Not until late in the season into the fall. We got a few plants.
And then the bugs got them.
Yeah.
Or worms, yeah. But that was weather, I think.
Mark says, is the electric canner a pressure one? Yes.
Yes.
Well, you can do either one with it, I think, can't you?
You can water bath pints and half pints.
Yeah.
But I found water bathing is quicker for me on the stove than it is to wait on that to build up and do all of it. But pressure canning is great. I can do my quarts or pints in there, and I love the electric one, except when the power goes out. It did that one time. So
Jay Robertson said he's harvested 5 large heads of cauliflower. We actually harvested cauliflower.
3.
We harvested 3 yesterday.
And we harvested one of our cabbages.
Yep,
We've got
cabbage.
Quite a few cabbages left to go.
Yeah.
And several 3 or 4 more cauliflower. Well, we got a lot of cauliflower.
We got a lot of
cauliflower.
They just
hadn't started making heads.
Probably going to all come in at the same time.
We finished the broccoli.
No, we got 2 more heads of broccoli out there.
Okay, so we got 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a lot going on still. Thank y'all. I like this shirt. This is probably my favorite color shirt anyway.
James King said they had problems with squash also.
And Jeannie says she loves her electric canner. And Monkey Food Garden says they like their electric one. I'm telling y'all, it makes a difference in a lot of ways once you get used to it and how it works. You're like, okay, I'm good. Now, if the power's going to be out or you have problems, I wouldn't can during a storm or anything, just saying.
Now, wait a minute, Will Be Cool. There ain't no Home Depot in McHenry.
I think he's
I think
talking
he's
about
talking.
McDaniels.
I think he's talking about McDaniels.
And
He's talking about McDaniels.
And
they're Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware, yeah.
Patty and them down there are good people.
Yeah.
What vegetables do you water bath can?
Tomatoes.
Well, you
as
don't.
Long as you don't add veggies.
Water bath any vegetables.
It's usually tomatoes is a fruit actually.
You only water bath fruits, which is tomatoes, peaches, apples, pears, plums, figs.
If you do pickles, because they have vinegar in them, pickles are water bathed. Jams, jellies, that sort of stuff is water bath. When it comes to your squash and peas and beans and corn or any of your veggies that you're going to do, you better be pressure canning. That way you know you killed anything that needs to be killed. Amy
B says, has anyone grown orange cauliflower? Does it taste different? I don't know. All we grow is the snowball white.
Yeah.
If you don't put the leaves over the top of it, the sun will make it turn orange. Now I can tell you that.
Yeah, if we took the shade cloth off of our high tunnel, the snow would have fell off.
Yeah.
But it's more trouble than it's worth to take it off and put it back on.
Yep.
And we didn't get enough snow that it done any damage. We got around 5 inches. So if we had had more snow, we would have had a problem. But Danny went out and bumped some of it off, so it wasn't accumulating as heavy as it could have. Now, where are we at? Danny, I remember you as a part of your tip on a live that planes would start dropping out of the air. Is this what's happening? Do we want to go there?
Starla, hang on to the end and I'll talk about that.
When should we plant tomatoes in Deep South this year?
Well, Susie Q, I don't know what part of the Deep South you're in, but we're going to have to wait till after the danger of all frost is gone. And it's going to have to be, this year's going to have to be one of them years that we're going to have to probably take some chances. Maybe even cover some tomatoes and stuff like that, because we've got some events coming that none of us are going to be happy about. And it's going to make gardening extremely difficult, especially for us in the Deep South.
All right, Bart says he sent some Star of David seeds with the ones I sent to you for a giveaway, along with some other seeds. They're supposed to have been there Thursday. Were they sent to the P.O. box? I went and checked.
We checked
Friday.
We checked it Friday. They weren't there.
No.
No,
we checked it Wednesday.
We checked it Wednesday. We have not been back
Friday,
since Wednesday.
I forgot. So, yeah, I haven't been to the post office, so it's probably there. I'll get them Monday.
Thank you, Bart.
Thank you. Yes, we'll do some seed giveaways if when we get them all in. And I do have some more different things that we can give away as far as seeds. Do yellow wax beans need a trellis?
Well, it depends. If you get pole beans, yes. If you don't get pole beans, you get bush beans, then no, they don't.
Yeah, they come in both kinds.
They come in both kinds. I advise you to look for the Cherokee yellow wax beans. They're a bush bean. To me, hands down, the best we've ever done.
Yeah. I don't know how to make garlic jelly. I've made pepper jelly, and I've made lemon jelly, and I made all kinds of jellies, but now garlic is one I have not done, so I don't have a recipe for that. He said yes, he sent it to Deepsouth. Okay, so it's probably at the post office. Are they going to adjust the zones again, like flip-flopped?
I suspect by the time 2025 is over with, the zones may very well be redone.
Somebody said thanks for porch time last week.
You are welcome.
When you get around to it. Yeah, we were talking about that this time. Will you consider putting another high tunnel?
Nope.
No, I think we're done.
I'm not doing any more high tunnels. I've done my last one.
Ours is big enough now to really handle, if we rotate out like we should, it'll handle most anything.
If we manage it correctly, we will be able, plus with our container garden, between our container garden and our high tunnel, if we manage it properly, we should have everything we need to be sustainable.
Yes. Do fertilizers go bad over time in storage?
Only if they get damp. Now, if they get damp, yes, they will. They will lose their potency.
Okay. What do you suggest to get rid of cucumber beetles? They've ruined my crop 2 years in a row.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you something. I saw cucumber beetles today.
Where?
In the woods.
In the woods?
One got on my hand in the woods while I was down there pushing in the woods today. It landed on my hand right there in the inside part of my hand, and I watched it crawling across my hand. And I realized, I said, that's one of them green with the little black specks on his back, cucumber beetle. And I mashed that joker and killed him. They're already, we went through that hard freeze, and it's starting to warm up. It's been in the 70s here, and these insects are already starting to pop out, and I hope they pop out, and this next freeze coming wipes them out.
Okay, let's see where I'm at.
Oh, here we go. Cabin Friends was at 56. Danny, what do you think about the green hoop house compared to the clear or white?
I'm not seeing the green.
I don't think the green ones, no, the green ones are supposed to be more UV tolerant as far as blocking some of the UV rays and stuff like that. We just do the clear. We have found out we have better luck doing the clear and buying a 40% shade cloth. Now, in the future, if the sun does what they say it's going to do, I may have to up to a 50%. But right now, 40 is doing a good job because they're chemtrailing the heck out of everything to keep that sun from coming through so hot and the radiation from coming through. That actually the 40% is really doing good for us here in the Deep South right now.
Okay, Gene, I'm not sure what you're asking. You said you paid $218 last year in Seattle. Curious what we pay in Ole Miss. I'm guessing you're asking what we pay for something, but I'm not sure what. We only have one high tunnel here at Pecan Grove. We have 3 at Deep South.
Yeah.
The 2 of them were 16 by 32?
16 by 36.
And the other
one is 24 by 32.
Yeah. And then when we moved to Pecan Grove, it is a
24 by 60.
Yeah. So it'll encompass 2 of what we had over there. So yeah, we
these are laid out with the Vago beds. We're actually growing a whole lot more than we've been growing. Plus we're gonna have the GreenStalks in this one to go along with the Vago beds and the mineral tubs and everything we have in them. It's going to really be, this year will tell the tale if I laid it out correctly, because we're actually going to be finishing up the high tunnel this year with all the electrical and, everything in it. So I'm hoping that, I hope it produces as well as we need it to.
Do you have a never again plant or livestock? Are you talking about like garlic where you plant it and it just keeps going, or asparagus or anything like that? I don't know what you're asking on that never again plant or livestock, because even those can get damaged and lose.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of forever plants is what Danny calls them. Once you plant those, if you leave them in the ground, they keep multiplying.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I'm looking to see what's a mineral tub. Explain a mineral tub.
Mindless Manpower says, what is a mineral tub? When you have cattle like we do and you raise cattle, they make a big old black tub. It's about a 25-gallon black tub. It weighs around 200 and something pounds. It's full of a protein mineral mix that's baked into that tub that the cows lick in, and they lick that out of there. It's really sweet tasting, but it's loaded with minerals and protein. When you're feeding cattle hay, they need these mineral tubs. I mean, I give mine the mineral tubs even though I really don't have to because I'm feeding them red clover hay, and they get a lot of protein from that, but they still like their mineral tubs.
Okay, he was saying the P.O. box that he pays for is $218 a year. I guess a year. Ours is like
What's ours?
25 or
like $35, I think.
35 or 40 a year. I don't know. It might. It's less than $50 a year.
Yes, less than $50 a year.
Because I was paying it by every 6 months, and I've been paying it per year, and I don't remember exactly. But I just have the little bitty box now. I don't. If you've got a big box, yes, I can see it costing more. The big boxes do, but I've just got the little bitty thing. That
Big Gatlin says, Wanda, you have us hooked on McCaskill popcorn.
Oh, Danny's hooked on it.
Look, you ain't the only one, my friend.
He sits over there and goes, could you pop me some popcorn tonight?
I do that at least 2 to 3 times a week. I'll say, Miss Wanda, could you pop me some popcorn tonight?
Yep, he loves popcorn now. Any ideas why my fig tree stopped producing? It's about 10 years old.
Oh, no, I mean, well, are you putting plenty of mulch on top of the roots around the bottom of the tree? It needs at least 6 inches deep of mulch around the root system on the bottom of the fig tree so that it produces well. Now, that's one thing we've learned. When you don't have that mulch there, lots of times you'll go through a season, as long as it don't freeze. Now, if it freezes at the wrong time and the little baby figs is on it, you will not have a crop of figs until the fall.
Yeah. How will we grow our pineapples without another greenhouse? We've been discussing that.
That's
right now they're still in the
shop greenhouse,
the one that's off the back of the shop. And as soon as it warms up, we hope to bring some over and put them in mineral tubs here. They're in mineral tubs or landscape pots, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're in landscape pots in that greenhouse. So we're going to bring them and put them outside for the summer, and then we're going to take baby ones and put them possibly in our greenhouse for the winter, and then take them back out next summer.
Randy says, Danny, would you consider planting strawberries in a gutter system? The only way I'd plant them in a gutter system, I have a friend up the road up here who actually does that, is I'd have to have an aquaponic system set up like he does, where he pumps the water into the top gutter up there and it runs through and it feeds itself all the way down through these gutters coming down and then goes back into a recirculation tank with a filter on it. That would be the only way I would consider putting them in a gutter.
Rebecca, you're welcome. She got her Malabar seeds.
Okay, we're at 8 o'clock.
Are we at 8?
Yep.
Getting close?
We're past
Okay,
it.
so where's your winner?
Okay, the winner of the Back to Basics book is Ms. Jean Blair. Jean, if you're still in here, let us know and send us your information over here to what's the website you want it to?
Deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. We do not have any pawpaws, but Miss Vicky's sending us some seeds to plant, and we're going to see if we can get some started.
I don't know if they'll actually grow down here, but we'll try it.
Yeah, we're going to be trying some. Have you ever considered attaching a high tunnel to your house?
No, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. It gets
not in the deep south.
Not in the south. It gets too hot.
Plus, the moisture.
Yeah.
We're in such a humid environment, it would create, stuff would grow like crazy, and I think every termite in Mississippi would find it.
Sherry said, do you always spray your peach tree blooms for worms? We never spray any of our trees of any kind.
Yes, Miss Jean, just send us an email.
Because we use fireplace ashes around the base of the tree, and I sprinkle it up on the trees and stuff like that. And if I happen to get a couple of worms in some peaches, we just cut around them and keep on going because we don't worry about it, to be honest with you.
All right, Mark Krager says he needs prayers. God knows. Miss Lippy's not here tonight because she has a granddaughter that she's watching through webinar type thing. She's performing somewhere, so Miss Lippy is at home, but she's watching a granddaughter's performance tonight. And Miss Allison's not here tonight because she took the flu, and
Allison was in here earlier.
Oh, was she?
Yeah,
okay.
just for. I haven't seen her, but just briefly.
Yeah, she may be hiding in the background, but Allison was very sick this week with the flu, so we want to keep her in prayer. And
Linda says she's having trouble starting her moringa seeds. Any tips? Yeah, moringa seeds are very, very difficult to grow, and they need to be in a long, probably a 12-inch deep, skinny pot, because a moringa has a very deep taproot, and they need to stay really moist to get them up and going.
Nadia said she almost lost her husband this week, so we'll remember her.
Keep her in our prayers.
Yeah, you may have to special order. There's a pot. The top is about this tall. It's just a small pot, but it comes down and it's long, like 12 inches long or 18. It's a long pot. That's what you usually put the moringa in to start, and it usually does pretty good. My daughter had, I don't know if she had the flu, but she had something similar, knocked her on her butt, plus 2 or 3 of the grandkids, and now another one, and so something's going around a lot of places.
Okay. Lots of people talking about the flu and everything, yeah.
And we want to remember the people that died in the families of the people that died in the
and both plane crashes.
Yeah, both plane crashes.
Abama Gardner had to get off earlier and said ask for prayer. I remember that. Yeah.
Yes. Remember her.
Okay. Up there in Minnesota, it is influenza Q. Huh.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. I didn't know what it was. It's just not. It's not a good thing.
No.
And they're saying that lots of times it's the children it's hitting, and they're bringing it home from school, and then it's hitting the parents. So it's going around schools.
Does it matter what kind of wood to make ashes for peach trees? Vicky's asking. As long as it's hardwood ashes, you don't want any softwood like pine or this rosinus or anything like that. It needs to be hardwood. So let me answer that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and have our prayer, and because I don't want to hold everybody late up in the night where people can have a chance to get their rest tonight. Father, we're coming to you tonight. We want to approach the throne, Father, with humility and with boldness at the same time. We've got a lot of prayer requests mentioned here tonight. Many people's battling with, I know personally is battling with some cancer issues, and they're not feeling good, Father. They're having some problems there, and lots of people have just requested, tons of prayers tonight. I pray, Father, you would look down on this chat tonight, and anyone who put their request in this chat, Father, that you would meet that need tonight. I'm going to speak healing on everyone here tonight. And Father, I'm going to speak peace, comfort. If it's not your will to heal them, then Father, I'm going to pray that you give them grace to be able to make it through the hour of need in their life. And for the one who almost lost her husband, Ms. Nadia, Lord, I'm just praying that you'll reconstitute that life. And Father, that you'll give them many more days to be able to spend time here with their loved ones on the earth. And Father, there's so many more here. We've got lots of people this week who lost their lives in plane crashes and some other instances I'm not going to talk about, but there's been some other ways that people's lost their lives here nationally. And Father, that's always a tragedy when you have a young child who just went through all of her treatments, and her mom's on the way home, and after such dilemma of getting through these treatments and stuff like that, and then go and have to perish on the way home, Father. Things like that wear and rent the heart. And Father, I pray for those families, the skating families, the ones that was in the skating, and all the other ones that was on boards, the pilots and everything of these planes, Lord. I pray for all these families, because when you're in the midst of joy and then all of a sudden life is taken, Father, it seems like sometimes that sudden shock is the kind that's the hardest to get over with. It seems like there's no answers for anything like that. But we trust you that you know what you're doing and know what you're allowing to happen here upon the earth. And we think about our nation. Right now, our nation is in turmoil. It is literally being ripped apart at the seams. And Father, it is going to take us as Christian people to stand in the gap and pray and lift up our nation and lift up the leaders of our nation and say, Father, give them wisdom. And Father, help us to turn back to you before it's everlasting too late now. We love you and we appreciate you and ask that you go with us through the night. Give us all sweet rest, sweet peace, and help us to be able to rise tomorrow to do thy will, Father. We ask this in the name of Christ. Amen. Oh my goodness.
All right, so Jeff said his mom is in the hospital right now waiting major heart surgery on Monday.
Oh, man, man, man. I'll tell you what, it's going to be challenging. I can tell you that. And guys, I'm going to tell y'all what, everybody right now, talking about starting right now, needs to start praying for our country. Because literally what's happening in this nation right now, in the world, let me just say this, what's happening in the world, the whole world is meeting behind our backs. The only country that's not meeting in all these meetings that's going on is the United States. There is a giant coalition forming in the Middle East, and they're going to be going after Israel, and they're going to be coming after the United States. There's things happening behind the scenes that is just not good. There is not a country in the world at this moment, right now, other than Israel, that even likes the United States.
We need to pray for our leaders that they have the backbone to stand.
Yes.
Something we've not had for a long time, to just stand up to any evil. And so we need to pray that they have what they need, that they let God lead them in the right direction, and they stand up for our nation.
And here a while back, one of the subscribers mentioned a while ago about the plane and me talking about that. I mentioned to you guys here way a while back to keep your eyes on the skies. And since I've told you that, we've had the drone issue. The drones are coming back. I'm going to tell you that. The drones are going to come back. Now we've had 3 planes go down. Nobody's talked about the third one yet, but there's actually 3 planes have gone down. And lots of life has been lost. And the sad part about it is guys, it's not over. You're going to see more of it happening. And I would love to tell you why it's happening, but if I tell you why it's happening, I know YouTube will snatch this video down in a heartbeat. But it has to do with another country. Let me just say this. It has to do with another country, and I'm pretty sure if they're transparent, like they say they want to be, then it will eventually come out what country it is. And it makes me sad. It really makes me sad. We're going to have another water event that's going to take place this coming week and the next week. We've got a big atmospheric river coming in off the coast of California that's going to last about 4 or 5 days. And where all them wildfires was, just about imagine there's going to be some landslides and all that's going to take place out there. And then as this atmospheric river comes across the United States, we're going to run into some cold Arctic blasts coming down across from the North Pole. And we're going to have ice and snow and sleet and blizzardous conditions all across the whole United States on that 33rd parallel, like we've talked about before. I don't know what to say. I mean, I try to tell people to be prepared as good as you can be prepared. There's Trump, I know many of y'all probably heard about this, but Trump is going ahead and starting to get the Iron Dome put on the southern part of the United States down here because of the cartels and the launching of missiles from Mexico over into the United States. We need that down here because it's probably going to happen. Mexico at this moment hates the United States. Canada at this moment hates the United States. And the sad part about it is neither one of them can survive without us. And the really sad part about it is we need both of them. And that's, it's going to be it's a mess. It's a mess right now. It's really a mess.
Yeah.
So we need to keep our country in prayers because 2025, there's going to be places this year that there will be no grass for the cattle. There'll be no grass for the sheep, no grass in people's yards. It's literally going to scorch and burn up this year because we're in solar cycle 25, and if the history repeats itself like it normally does, then our temperatures this summer are going to be way hotter than they were last year, and we're going to see even worse drought conditions than we saw last year in specific places in the United States.
Now ours was the year before. Last year was bad, but the year before started our drought, and that's when we had absolutely no hay. I mean, our grass and hay and everything, not this summer, but the year before. This summer, the only reason we had some grass and hay and grass and stuff was Danny did not cut our grass in the yards or anything. Once it quit raining, he quit mowing. He said, don't mow the yards, don't do anything. The year before, the yards almost just turned brown and almost went to dirt because we did not, I mean, we were mowing after it rained, and I mean, you know, when it quit raining. And the fields, the cows had eaten down so much, we used a lot of hay 2 years ago. Last year we used half of the amount of hay.
This past year we used half the hay we normally do.
Yeah. And this winter we've not had to use that much because he did have some hay going on because we've had some rain. But the summer, 2 summers ago, was probably the absolute worst we've ever had. And the heat was bad this past year.
Actually, at Deep South, the ponds are not full. And here at Pecan Grove, the ponds are not full here either. So, I mean, we still are way behind on our rainfall here. And I will tell you this too, guys, be in prayer for the situation going on in the Panama Canal down there, because what we have right now, to my understanding, is China's trying to build a bridge over the Panama Canal, and that is the last thing in the world we need, because we'll end up with another Francis Scott Key Bridge issue again. If that happens, it will shut the whole Panama Canal down and cost billions and billions and billions of dollars in trade.
How is the Hidden Creek at Pecan Grove? I guess we're talking about the one you and
It's still going.
Have you been down there?
Yeah, it's still going pretty good. Still doing pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so we're gonna get off, and Miss Jean, we will be praying for your son. She said her oldest is in the hospital on a well, she didn't. Yeah, single dad. Okay, she did say son. Single dad with 3 children, and he's got flu, and he's on a ventilator right now. So
it's always bad when they put you on a ventilator.
Yeah,
that's always the absolute worst sign.
Because it's hard to come off of those.
Coming off of ventilators is very, very hard.
So we will be praying that within the next day or so they can start backing him off that ventilator, and he can come back to his children.
Oh, this is Old Dominion Homestead. This is interesting that Old Dominion would say this. I already knew this was coming. Said, Danny, our homeowner's insurance sent us a letter today stating they will not cover any damage due to solar flares. That's because in 2025, in this solar maximum that we're in, they're expecting somewhere on the earth a massive Carrington event to take place. And they've already told the insurance companies that, and insurance companies are already sending out letters telling the people that they're not going to cover any damage from solar flares. That's why we encourage people to get a EMP shield.
Their homeowners insurance just dropped earthquake coverage. So
guys,
they're backing out of everything.
When you see insurance companies doing this, they've already been told something by the federal government as to what is going to happen to keep them where they can stay afloat. And pay attention. Please pay attention.
Yeah, homeowners. Did you talk about the planes?
No, I did not talk about the airplanes. I told y'all I was going to talk about the airplanes.
Just quickly.
Just something quickly, because I don't want to get us in trouble or anything like that. But well, I did talk about the airplanes a little bit.
A little bit, not really. Not with.
What happened in Washington, D.C., there at Reagan International Airport? I've been there many, many times.
I had to watch.
I'll just wait. And there was several planes coming into the runway, and in a helicopter. Now, when you're in one of these military helicopters, it's very difficult to see what's above you. And they had requested for eye contact anyway, according to the tapes that I listened to from the little black box. They was at fault. And to my understanding, they have halted all military training exercises from now on right there in that area. They're actually moving it, which should have been done years ago, but due to particular administrations, they would not do it. And then you have like these control towers up there. Guys, what's happening is...
You're buffering, so they're not hearing 90% of what you're saying.
I knew it was going to happen.
You might as well just chill with
these control towers are overworking their people. It's happening in all the companies across the United States. It's just not the control towers. It's all companies. Wanda's sister went through it. I mean, lots of people are going through it in different businesses where they work at. They're letting people go or asking them to take early retirement. And the people that's left behind, they're putting like twice the load on them. And they're just not doing a good job, you know. So
yeah, that's happening all over the place. We went in Family Dollar, or I did. He sat in the car, and I come back out and I told Danny, I said there was one little girl in there. She made anywhere from 16 to 20. She was not very big, little bitty thing, and she's the only person I saw working in there.
Thank you, Farm Fanatic. Thank you.
By herself in a store. And there's packages everywhere being unboxed. I'm guessing she's having to do it herself and put stuff on shelves. There was nobody else in that store with her whatsoever. And to me, that is so dangerous to have only one employee in a whole store like that. That size store, you should have somebody stocking and at least 2 people on the register.
Yeah.
That can work the register. So you should have at least 3 for safety purposes in a store that size. Preferably 4, but 3 would be a minimum. And she was the only one in there that you saw anywhere. So that, to me, that's very dangerous. So I can see how this is going with all companies.
Yeah. So the planes, guys, I'm sad to tell you, but the plane issues you probably haven't seen the last of it. There is. I wish I could just say what I wanted to say, but there's some. It's not what it appears to be. Let me just tell you that, okay? It is not what it appears to be.
Howdy, pal, Matt, a paratrooper. Yeah, so we've got to go. I got to make him some popcorn. I'm sure I know what's coming. He had a nice pork chop in, I guess I put it in the crock pot with a little bit of brown sugar and some salt, and then he had, what else do you have? Cauliflower.
Fresh cauliflower.
Cauliflower tonight. So
yep.
We ended up having a nice supper, but I know He's done spent all his energy, so he's gonna want popcorn.
Yep.
McCaskill Family Farms. Y'all tell them Danny and Wanda from Deep South sent you. You check them out.
Okay, guys. Somebody said it looks like a missile. No, it wasn't a missile. The plane actually exploded in the air about, I say, within a mile of the runway right there.
Yeah, within the first 60 seconds. They said.
It hadn't even made it up to 2,100 feet, and there was an explosion that sent it to the ground. So, anyway, guys, continue to keep your eyes on the skies and pay attention. Please pay attention. Watch the weather. Watch the 32nd to the 38th parallel. In that area across the United States right there. Keep your eyes on that also. If you live inside that, be prepared for the worst of the worst.
In California and
if
East
you
Coast.
live anywhere on that West Coast, anywhere on the West Coast, get ready to be inundated with rain.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys, from Deep South Homestead.